Hi everybody.
Hi, and welcome to episode 9, the Twinset and Purl knitting podcast. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jo.
And together we design as Twinset and Purl. So we're Twinset and Purl on Instagram and Ravelry. My personal account is the youngest Butler twin.
And I'm Jojo Butler on Instagram.
And
Jojo B on Ravelry.
And this is just our little place where we talk about our new designs, what we've been knitting, and any yarny goodness that's come our way since the last episode.
It's basically, apart from it for me, for work, the rest of my life, it's a little bit of husband, mostly yarn.
So we'll get started with what we're wearing.
I thought you were going to say...
Oh, I was. Completely forgot.
Bad podcast.
Just want to say thank you and welcome to all our new subscribers and to obviously our returning viewers. We're so grateful that you come back and watch us. Prattling on about
our dad thinks we've got our own twin language, but it's actually knitters language, and he hasn't quite understood that yet. He's like, you talk in a, like to each other in a code, and it's like, no, Dad, that's knitting code.
Anyway, hi Dad. He'll be watching later on when we post this. So we're actually going to post this a bit later today because we're going to Flock. So we're
really excited. We love Flock.
Yeah, we're in Bristol, run by Bird Street Yarn. So we're shout out to John and Claire and their amazingness. So we're going to take hopefully some footage or maybe just some pictures. Not 100% sure what you're going to do yet. We're not vloggers. Not yet anyway. So so we'll add some of that to the end, and you can see what we buy and what we...
So we can start with what I'm wearing, because I'm wearing this specifically for going to Flock, because of the Platinum Jubilee last weekend. John and
only
Claire,
last weekend?
It was only last weekend. John and Claire have asked if people will wear red, white and blue, or wear red, white or blue to Flock. So I don't have very much. I do have red in my wardrobe, but this is the only red thing that
you should really wear that more often. Well, it's summer now, isn't it?
Yeah. I only knit it last year. The t-shirt underneath is a bit gapey there, you're causing a crease. But anyway, so this is Lobelia from Ready Set Raglan, and this is the picture from the book. So you can see it's a beautiful design. It's got the stitch is called Estonian flower, and I absolutely loved it. It's a little bit tricky, I have to say, because there's lots of purl, lots of stitches together, and in this yarn, which is a little bit splitty. So the yarn is King Cole cotton bamboo, and I don't know what the colour number is, but there's only one of this tone. So if you want to find it, I'm sure you if you look at King Cole bamboo cotton on Wool Warehouse or somewhere, you'll be able to pick out which one it is. But you basically increase and decrease, and your raglan increases are done as part of the flower stitch.
It's beautiful,
and I absolutely love it. I obviously didn't do long sleeves, and I also it's knit in sample is knit in Lobelia May, double knitting a sport and then with a mohair, so it's slightly thicker than a DK weight, and I knit this in a DK weight on the recommended needles. So you get a slightly looser knit, but I absolutely love it. Yeah, so that's what I'm wearing.
And I'm wearing Crest of a Wave shawl, which Jo designed. Was it the second design? This is in Holstgarn Coast, which is cotton and wool and cotton blend. I can't remember what colour it is, but it's pale pink. And I'm wearing this because we wanted to talk about...
It's not sweet pea, is it?
It's not sweet pea. I honestly don't know what it is. I knitted it, how long ago did I knit it?
2 years.
Yeah?
Yeah. about 2 years since it came out.
It's probably in my notebook, but I don't have my notebook with me, so we won't look it up. Anyway,
we'll pop it in the show notes.
We wanted to,
as ever.
Yeah. So
anything we can't remember, we'll pop in the show notes.
So I'm wearing it today because we wanted to talk about our cowl, which we're running on on Instagram and Ravelry, and we haven't really talked about it. We put it in the show notes every time, but we haven't really talked about it. And it's ending this month, the end of this month, 30th of June.
Yeah.
So Jo is going to just tell you quickly, in case you don't know, what it involves.
Yeah. So we've got 3 patterns with the Crest lace on, a cowl, a shawl, and a bandana cowl. The cowl is always going to be free. That's our gift to the world, one of our gifts to the world. And the shawl and the bandana cowl, if you watch the podcast and you use the code CRESTCOWL, all caps, you can also get those patterns free. So that will be available until the end of June. But you may not have, I don't know how fast people knit, but you may not have time to knit a shawl by the end of June. But you could definitely knit one of the cowls before.
They're only 1 skein, aren't they?
Yeah, so both of the cowls are 1 skein.
4 ply.
Of 4 ply, or you could knit them in a lace, in the same sort of heavy lace weight yarn. And the shawl was 2 balls of the one I knit was it was 350 meters per 50 grams. So a heavy lace.
That's the same as this.
Yeah. And it was 2 balls of that. So 700 meters of yarn. We've had a few people with finished objects. One lady has put the pattern onto a hat as well, so we're letting her sneak that in as another FO.
Yeah, so there's a thread in our Ravelry group.
Yeah, so there's one for joining in and one for finished objects.
And there'll be a prize. Yeah.
For there, and then
on Instagram.
And then one on Instagram with the hashtag CrestCowl FO.
Yeah. And all that information will be in the description box below.
Yeah. But we'd love you to join in and join our Ravelry group. We're going to start a few more threads on there because we thought it'd be nice to get some chatting done. So we're going to have a thread for people's current works in progress. So that could be our designs or it could be anything.
Yeah, we just want to know what people are knitting.
Yeah, and then because, we all want inspiration and ideas for the next thing to knit. So we're going to put a thread on for that, and then we're going to be drawing a prize once a month at random and donating a skein of yarn from our stash to our stashes, shall we say. We don't share a stash, although I often dip into Rachel's stash because his is healthier than mine. And we're going to be giving a prize once a month, and then
I think we should have a dream knitting.
What, where people just put ideas up?
Yeah,
that'd be a good one. There was something else. Maybe we should have a separate one for people who are knitting any of our designs.
Yeah.
And then another one for either dream knitting or other things you do.
Because it might be a skein of yarn or it might be a pattern of ours of your choice.
Yeah. Or some of the stitch markers that I make or something. There'll be a little prize every month. So cool.
Yeah. Now we're going to talk about
FOs.
Yeah. So I go first then, seeing as you've done a lot of talking. So I got 1 FO. And I showed these last month because I think I finished 1.
Yes, you had, definitely.
So these are every month I knit a pair of self-striping socks so that I can use up some of my self-striping sock yarn. So by the end of the year I'll have used 12. In fact, I haven't got many more than 12, to be honest. So that'll allow me to buy some next year maybe. Anyway, these are May. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
which month
June.
we're in.
Have you started June?
Yeah, they're tabs. I can't talk about them. Right, so there are 2 of them. The main yarn, they are, aren't they?
They are.
I love them. The main yarn is Fab Funky Fibres in the Dolly and Donkey's Day at the Beach. and they're just beautiful, aren't they?
Where's the donkey?
I don't know.
Who are Dolly and Donkey?
I don't know who Dolly and Donkey are. It's just the name of it.
Yeah.
And then the contrast cuff and heel is in a botanical yarn mini that came from a humongous number of botanical yarn minis I've got. So yeah, so they are done, and I did them in time. I did not Kitchener on the 1st of June. I finished that in May.
Yay.
So and if you want to see what we're knitting apart from Twinset and Purl stuff, then follow our individual accounts on Instagram, because one of my whips is my next month's self-striping, and I'm not allowed to talk about it because it's for my dad.
Well, it's not that you're not allowed to talk about it.
Oh no,
you
Dad
want it to be a surprise.
Yeah, it's a surprise for Dad. He doesn't want to see the colour I chose. So, but there
will be a picture once you've finished.
No, but I've posted on Instagram because he doesn't go on Instagram.
Right. God, can you imagine?
Yeah, I can imagine if Dad got on Instagram. Jeez. Anyway, yeah, just follow us if you want to see what else we're knitting and other things we're up to, because, you know.
Yeah, I don't post as much as I should, but there we go.
So Jo, now we're going to move on to Jo's whips, Jo's FOs, and there are a few. So she has actually accomplished a few things this month.
So I finished, the first one I finished was the Amethyst Glow, which I had, if you remember from the last podcast, I had just a tiny bit of the cuff on one sleeve to do so that it could be sent to Sophie Botanical Yarn for the Yorkshire Yarn Fest. Mm-hmm. So I did that. I haven't got it because it was sent there. But yeah, I accomplished that. Rachel very kindly blocked it and sewed the ends in for me.
And we'll put a picture at the end. I'll put a little video that Sophie made of all the Amethyst Glows.
She's got kits on her website for them, and the patterns available in our Ravelry store.
Yeah, and it did have a discount when it was published. It's only last weekend. No, weekend.
We're going to do a discount for the podcast.
That's another thing we were meant to say. Well, we've decided that.
That's fine.
I'm tapping the table and making the thing move. For everybody who watches the podcast, you can have a bonus discount off on our patterns. So that will be, I think we just call it bonus 20. So if you use the code bonus 20 on Ravelry, you'll get 20% off our patterns.
It won't be on top of any other offers.
No.
So if something's got more money off, like
use that code.
50% off.
You can only use one coupon code.
Yeah.
But I'll set that up after this. Well, before this goes live, and then that'll be forever. So we'll put that in the description below, and then it'll be in the description every time. So.
Okay, cool. Right,
anyway.
This is going to be a quick one, and it's not going to be a quick one.
No, it's not.
But anyway, so my next FO was the Goat's Eye Socks by Tracy Miller that were a present for my
Did you take a picture?
Friend. There is, and it's on my Instagram.
So we can put it at the end?
Yeah.
I can't add in photographs, I'm really sorry.
We haven't got that skill.
I have not learned how to put words or photographs on. If anybody can help me, that'd be nice.
But yeah, so I finished those socks, and my friend loves them. She was like, "Oh my god, they're like bought socks. I'm gonna ruin them if I wear them." And I'm like, "You've got to wear them.
Yeah,
that's the whole point." And then I also finished my Morton Street cowl that I was knitting as a gift, and gave that to the recipient, and she absolutely loves it. She's not a knitter, but she's very appreciative of knitting, so that's great.
How many of those have you knitted now?
I think I've done 7.
Morton Street?
Yeah. I just love them. They're just so quick. They're like, they were my sock knitting, and now I'm knitting socks, so my socks are now my sock knitting, my small project. And I also finished my Material Girl. So this is the pattern. It's a fingering weight Raglan sweater. Very, very straightforward, easy pattern.
It was designed for Chelsea Luxe yarn.
Yeah. By Shania Billow.
And we'll put all the information will be in the description below.
Yeah. So it says that for my size, I would need 3 skeins of fingering.
Yeah.
But I think that's for the longer sleeve version.
Right.
Now I knit the short sleeve.
Yeah.
And
you weighed it?
No, I haven't weighed it. But I've still got quite a lot of my cone left.
And what size?
And there was 400 grams on the cone. I did the 3rd size, I think. Okay. Yeah, 2nd or 3rd size. The one that's got 40 is a 47-inch finished bust. It's got 10 inches of positive ease.
Wow.
Now,
is it cropped? Or did you?
No. I added an inch on the bottom, and I also added this detail, which I think I showed last time.
That's it. You just.
Yeah, I split.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah, it's lovely yarn. I split for the sleeves.
Is it 100% cotton?
100% cotton.
Oh, I want some.
So the yarn is from Woolly Knit, and it's cones. At the time that I bought it, they were doing 2 for £20.
Is it 100% cotton?
Yeah.
It's stretch. It's like.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy some to knit some summer tops.
2 for £20, and I think it's £13 a cone.
Because I've got all that time.
Yeah, and I'm going to knit another top in this neutral colour that I also have another cone of. But this is on 3.5mm needles, and I'm going to knit the same stitch count on 3.25 to get a slightly denser fabric. And I'm just going to knit plain, I think. I was going to do black stripes, but I think just
you might get a stripy one
left with the leftovers. Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely.
So
I might have to borrow that.
But I don't know. It is the nicest cotton I've knit with.
Yeah. I'm going to get some navy blue.
They've got loads of colours.
Do they have a navy blue?
Yeah, they have a navy blue.
Well, I'm going to have some.
No,
I'm going to knit something else first.
So that's my.
If I knit a sweater quantity of my navy, I think I've got 4 sweater quantities of navy.
But it's cotton, so you need it now for the summer.
True. And it's cheap.
Yeah. So we're moving on to whips.
Oh, was that all your FOs?
That was my FOs.
Okay, brilliant. So
I'll
do a whip first. Let's just quickly talk about Dad's socks, because we can't show them, but they're in this lovely little bag by So Yarnalicious, and it's just perfect for knitting socks. You can do that, knit as you go. And I have finished the first one. On Tuesday this week I was having a little operation, and they kept me waiting for quite a long time. Before they even took me in to get a bed, I was sat in reception from 7:30 till 9:10, and I basically knitted the foot of the first sock. And then when I was waiting to go down to have my operation, I knitted the toe and cast on the cuff of the second sock. So it was very productive. And then my operation went really well, and finally, so I've been having operations for a year now. This is the 4th one on a dodgy blood vessel that I've got in my head that could cause me problems. And it's finished. They've finally done it. So hooray! No more of those. But I did get some knitting done this time, and possibly because I was in a room of my own. So it's brilliant. Anyway, I'm home now and I'm all right. So that's the main thing. So that's one whip, which we can't show you, but I will definitely.
Are we going to take it in turns?
Yeah, I'll definitely take a photograph of them.
Yeah.
Because I'll post them as soon as they're finished. Because next weekend is Father's Day.
Yeah. Okay. So my first whip it's actually a pencil case, but I loved it, and it fits a ball of yarn and a sock. And this is a vanilla sock.
I'd forgotten about those. That's amazing.
And it's in this yarn, which is by JoKnitSew.
You got it at
I got it at the Southern Wool Show last year. And it's in the colour Princess Wannabe. And it's just got every colour you could imagine on a pink base. And I'm that far through this foot. So I cast this on to go on a flight to Edinburgh for my husband to run the Edinburgh Half Marathon. and I knit the leg and the heel on the flight. No, I didn't. I knit the foot on the flight home.
You knitted it on the flight?
Yeah.
I might have converted her to 9-inch circular.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, anyway. So then, while I was in Edinburgh, I also cast on...
Oh, it's so lovely.
My second...
Now, we're going to have a little... Did you already talk about going up a needle size?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the other side, on the goat side.
Oh, yeah.
So my second... So I took another whip with me, because on the Sunday morning, while Chris was running, it started at 8 o'clock or something stupid, this race. So I wasn't allowed to go and do anything. And I thought, am I just going to sit and knit a vanilla sock? No. But I actually didn't take anything else with me. I bought, in the knitting shop, another needle and yarn. So this is the yarn that I'm knitting my second whip out of. It's Filcolana Arvetta in the colour 971, and it's this sort of taupey.
I'd never realised that had such a halo.
Yeah, and
it's 80% superwash merino,
I found
20% nylon. By the way,
I'd put these in my bag. These Addy flexi flips. What are they called? No, Addy Trio. I put those in.
Crazy Trio.
Yeah. And this is what I've done of Anthony. So I did kind of that much in the hotel room on the Sunday morning, and then I took them to work on Wednesday and knit the other. So I've got,
show them,
half a pattern.
Do you want a sock bottom? I know.
This is the Anthony sock.
This is the original.
That's the original Anthony sock.
Knitted by Maggie, lovely Maggie.
So I've got half a pattern repeat to do on the leg, and then start the heel flap. Brilliant. So yeah,
two pairs of socks on the needles.
On the needles. Well, I've got actually more than that because I've got 2 pairs that I haven't finished. So yeah, and I'm loving this yarn's a bit splitty. The sort of feel of it is lovely, but I do keep like missing a ply.
And is that a new bag?
This is a new bag, yes. So I bought this in Edinburgh. Well, new sock project needed another bag, didn't it? This was from a clothes and accessory shop called Biscuit on Brunsfield Road. And yeah, it's just like a little travel bag, but I like it. It's got glittery ribbon and the thing, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's my colours. It's like, yeah, it's like, I love this olive colour. So yeah,
like a little dot bag.
Yeah. Right, so you show some more whips, and then I'll show my last whip. So
that was, you start with Tosano, I think.
This one's that one I put. Is it that?
How many whips have you got left?
1.
Oh, I'll just do a few of mine then.
Yeah.
So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've kind of made progress on everything that I talked about last time. So we won't talk too much about it, because you can go back and watch the previous episode, which I did talk more about it. So first of all, this is the Tosano Cowl, which came out last weekend.
Yeah.
And it's got this triangle double moss stitch, reverse stocking stitch pattern. And I've joined in the round, and I've got 3.5 repeats to go, and I should get that finished this week. So I've done a bit of it on that, and this is the yarn that I'm using, which is that recycled yarn by Stylecraft, yeah, Recreate, and that's living in a La Bien-Aimée Oh Wow Amsterdam bag, which I do love because my Jo bought it for me. Right, and let's do Brioche Shoreline. So I've done a little bit of everything. So this is botanical yarn bag, botanical yarn. As we talked about last time, notebook with everything to cross off. And
we had a few comments. A few people are on my team and a few people are on your team.
Yeah, I think more people are on my team, actually. So I don't know, see, hold it back a little bit.
I think I like the back.
Yeah, so it's this beautiful pale-ish, like muted teal, 4-ply, and a kind of mauvey pink Surrey alpaca. So the back looks like that. You can see the halo. And I've done 28 rows since last time. I did promise I'd do 2 scallops, but we've got 1 scallop, whatever they are. Yeah, so I am doing a little bit of that every now and again. Obviously,
Brioche
it does 2 rows as a row, and also I have.
Wait till you've got like
I know
all the stitches.
No, I really want it, but obviously I don't want it for the summer.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 shawls on the needles, and I'm just gradually working my way.
Yeah.
Oh, don't lose that.
Whatever you fancy doing.
Yeah, so I spend like an afternoon or evening. I tend to work on like designs in the morning, and if I'm loving the design, I keep knitting on it. And this is my Ziggy, which last time it was nothing basically, you couldn't really see it. And I'm knitting it in this mohair from Katia.
That's got one halo, one hell of a halo.
Yeah, and it's
is it soft?
Yeah, it is. Have I got the label? Yeah, it's from their concept range.
What's their concept range?
It's like their designer, like their
high end.
Yeah, so it's mohair degrade, and it's 44% mohair, 28% merino, and 28% polyamide. And it's
so it doesn't have the silk in it to
no,
make it soft.
But it's 400 meters per 50 grams, so it's the same as. And so what I've done so far is 1 repeat of the lace.
Oh, you're coming on to this grey bit.
Yeah, so it's very autumnal. So I think for the autumn, and we were talking about it last night, what I should do, if I should do a shawl or a bandana cowl. And I'm thinking bandana cowl because it'd just be so much easier to put on and keep.
Yeah, but quite a big squishy one.
Yeah,
because it'll scrunch up.
Yeah, because it doesn't take up much area, the space. But so it's gone through these oranges to this ready, and then it's moved into pink and grey. Yeah. So I love it. And yeah, I don't know how many repeats I'm going to have to do because obviously the gauge isn't the same. So on the shawl you do 4 repeats of the lace. So I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, you could measure this by the Morton Street.
Yeah.
And
then I've got another skein of the yarn. So
yeah.
Oh look, it's got burgundy.
Lovely.
Yeah. So that's coming along as well. And that is living in a little bag that we bought from, what are they called? Provenance?
Can't remember.
It was in the show notes last week. It was an acquisition last time. But it's really
was
cute.
it? We hadn't been.
Oh no, we hadn't been.
There's a picture on Instagram of all of the stuff we bought, and a lot of it I've got here to show.
Right, so we could.
But I didn't bring my one of that.
So we'll put it in the show notes.
Did you tag everybody in the picture on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had the picture of, we were with her, with Faye. Yeah. So I put some pictures in at the end of the last one.
Oh, I forgot to bring mine.
So I'll talk about this one last one, and then you can talk about yours, and then I'll talk about my new design.
Okay.
So this one, we're going to talk about this a bit more, because it's living in a bag, beautiful.
Oh, it is
patchwork, kind of. I think some of them are Liberty.
That's definitely Liberty because I had that on my jeans patch when I was a student.
And it comes with...
I had a pair of jeans when I was a student, so in the late 80s, early 90s that completely wore apart, and I bought Liberty material and sewed them out under the patches because I'm not a showing your leg kind of girl. And I was in Camden, somebody offered me £100 for them, and I was like, well, I can't just give them to you. What would I wear? So I didn't. Yeah. But,
oh, you like them?
Yeah, I did like them. More than for years.
So when I got back from hospital, there was a package, and my husband was like, "You bought another project bag, haven't you?" Like telling me you're on a ban. And I was like, no, I think they're from a. So before that, a lovely viewer of the podcast had messaged me and offered to send some project bags, or a project bag, for a prize. And they were, when I got back, there were these two. So we kind of talk about it now. Anyway, these two beautifully wrapped packages. So I messaged her and said, "Thank you so much." She's called Laura, and she's Tizzy's Quilts and Crafts on Instagram and at Etsy. She's got an Etsy shop, and they're just beautiful. So I said to her, "Thank you so much. They're so beautifully wrapped. I don't want to unwrap them because they're prizes." So I was thinking I could just send them out in the lovely tissue paper. And she said, "Oh no, I want you to look at them and tell me what you think." So I opened them up, and they were beautiful. So there's this one, and this one's underneath it. And this one.
So this is going to be a prize in the cowl.
And they come with this lovely. She must have made these. Little progress keeper. So that is definitely Liberty, isn't it? And it's lined inside. So yeah, so that's going to be a prize. So I said, as soon as I saw them, I said, "I love the big one. It's beautiful." And that came with that stitch marker. And I said, "Oh, I must buy one for myself." Although I'm on a husband issued ban of project bags. So she's wrote back and said, "Oh, you should have it as a treat. Us girls have got to stick together." So in the meantime, in between that conversation, I had been on her Etsy site and bought one, a smaller one, like that one, which will now be a prize because I have taken this one as a treat. So, but it's perfect. Look, it's navy blue. It's my colours, and it's beautiful. So thank you, Laura, and everyone we'll put her in the show notes, and everyone should pop on and see her shop because the bags are beautiful. And she does she does smaller ones, and this is a big one. So yeah, I have to go and try. Oh, so what we're talking about, what's inside it? Yeah, you should. So inside here is a test knit for Jo, which isn't really Rachel's a bad test knitter.
Well, no, you said you were a really good test knitter, and I was the bad test knitter because I didn't finish mine.
But the test knit's not finished yet.
But you're a little bit behind everybody else.
I am definitely behind everybody else. So this is as far as I have.
I think they're finding it quite addicting.
Yeah, I just haven't really worked on it. I just did it a little bit yesterday afternoon.
You're starting to see the pattern.
Yeah. So I am doing the Trillion shawl by Jo, which will come out in the beginning of July.
The test knit ends the first week of July.
Oh, right, so second week of July.
So yeah, middle of July.
And I'm knitting it. So I've only just started really. So I've done this is the border. No, the edge. And then we've got the border with the triangles in mohair, which is held double, obviously held double with the other yarn. It's not like the mohair isn't held double. And so they're starting to come out. I haven't really got, that's probably my first full one, but there's going to be 2 of them. And then the main body is triangles, but just in the...
Got a picture on me.
I've got a picture. Yes. I don't know how much you can see on there. So it's a real textured shawl with these reverse stocking stitch triangles. and then the border, the edge is along the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have just done, I haven't finished my first repeat of the border and got onto the main body yet, but I'm going to be working on it today in the car, going to Lock, and I'm knitting it in Bird Street 4-ply sock in Snowfall, which is this beautiful pale but with navy blue and rusty speckles, and it definitely is in, it's lovely, and it's in, it's definitely, you would look at it and know it's Bird Street. Like it goes, it fits in with their
rest of their
range. Their range of rusty blue speckles. And the mohair is Rico Essentials Super Kid Mohair Silk, 70% mohair, 30% silk, and the shade is 024. So, which has been, I've just had it in my stash for ages, waiting for the perfect project, and I'm probably going to use that much, so we can do something else with that. Anyway, it's lovely because look at how perfect. It's just, it's the perfect.
Yes. When you get the perfect
bag with
project
the
bag combo.
Yeah. So I am enjoying knitting that, but obviously that is in its, I'm kind of rotating my whips at the moment. So yeah, you can, that's my, I've got one more whip to talk about, but Jo's going to talk about her.
My last whip.
Yeah.
So I'm knitting, I shouldn't.
I'm going to take this off.
Because I have another whip, which is a secret. But the other day I was sat at work and I was like, I just have to cast this yarn on. So I'm knitting the Faye Summer Top. In the Drops Bell in Rosewater that I showed last time.
And it's in the tiniest
bag at the moment by Wool and Flower and the embroideries by Stitch Birdie. I love it.
Yeah.
And this is how much I've done. So I've basically done the short rows. So it's the back. You knit the back, and then you repeat this. Ooh, you repeat this cable and flower and leaf with the bobbles pattern. 3 times, I think, 4 times.
Yeah.
And then you've got a bit of and then you pick up along there for the fronts, and then when you've knit down, you join it in the round and knit in the round.
Show them the picture again, because the sleeves
are,
well, it's beautiful anyway.
Yeah, but and then you add this sort of drop sleeve with a bit of a flounce. So it's actually knit in a wool cotton or wool linen, can't remember. And this is wool, Drops Bell is cotton, viscose and linen. So it doesn't have any stretch in it. So the bobbles are a little bit awkward. And you have to be a little bit careful that you don't stretch the stitch out too much that you're putting it back into. Right.
And you do that with a cable?
You do that, I'm doing it with this mending tool. But you said it's not the best crochet hook, so I'm going to find a different crochet hook.
I'll give you one.
But I think they look all right. Her video...
Is it on a 4mm needle or 4.5?
4.5. Her video is not the best. She's got a little video link of how you do the bobbles. Andrea Mary's is better because this lady doesn't speak. She just, it's got the crochet hook and going, and if you don't crochet, it's like, what are you actually doing? But Andrea Mary explains hers. The only thing I noticed that was different between the two is that when she's attaching it, on her one, she goes down into the stitch below.
Right.
And Andrea Mary doesn't do that. So I did it how Andrea Mary did it. And I'm now thinking maybe I should attach it in the stitch below and it might be a bit more stable because
They look fine to me.
A bit floppy.
The last thing you want is
a floppy bobble. But that is at the top. So hopefully my hair will hide the floppy ones. But I'm really loving it. And the yarn is so nice. It's so nice to knit with this yarn.
I love that colour.
The definition, yeah, the colour's beautiful. The stitch definition on the twisted knits.
I've knitted Understated by Hohi in it, which is just a real plain sweater, but it's obviously it's navy blue. So I'd love one in that colour.
Yeah, it is good.
Just mine's too big now. Well, it's not too big. It's bigger.
Get that back in there. Right,
it's bigger because I've lost weight. Did you say who that was by?
It's by, no, but it's on here. Irene Lynn.
And that'll obviously be in the show notes.
Yeah.
So
I've gone from the absolute plainest, simplest raglan to something that's going to be lacy and bobbly and cabley and nice.
So when last we met, I showed you the yarn that had been sent by Sophie from Botanical Yarn, just because. So these are these are her core collection colours and a new base that she's starting to dye, which is the slub yarn. That's not actually attached to the moment.
It is very slub.
It is.
It's and big slubs that bigger slubs than I've seen on other slubs.
Yeah, and I tried to knit something in the past and I hated it, and it was a sample for Belinda Harris Reed, and I ended up having to say to her, I'm really sorry but I can't do it. It was lace in slub, which is tricky, and so basically sent the yarn back, and she said somebody else did the same thing to her. So this is not lace in slub, so it's okay, but it was quite tricky to cast on with it. So you have to be patient. You can't just quickly do your cast on. So anyway, that is in Cotyledon Undulata colourway, which is a lovely grey. And I've said that one, but now I can't remember what this one is. It's
Salvia, isn't it?
Salvia something. I don't know if it's on there. The name is on there. No, it just says what it is. Brushed singles. Oh, kid mohair. Don't know. There's too many things it's got. Anyway, it's the tealy colour that's in her. She
doesn't do many tealy colours, does she?
It's the one that's in her core collection. It will be in the show notes anyway. So that's in mohair. And we haven't got a name for this yet, but I'm designing a cowl. Just a straight up and down one, not a bandana-y one like Jo. And this is how far I've got. So it's like a chevron. So there's stripes of the slub, or you do the rib in the slub to start with. And then there's stripes of mohair and slub. And then this eyelet design in a chevron. And I've got on the last repeat of the lace of the eyelet chevron, and then I've got some stripes and the rib. Although I might do one more. I don't know what you think for how long it is. Slouch you down, because it does.
I don't know. I actually don't like that shape of cowl personally. Isn't one that I wear very often.
But you like it.
I do like the pattern. Yeah, I think. I don't know. Have a look at other people's and see how long they do them.
No, I know how long I normally do it. It's 19 inches.
Right.
But blocked. So we'll see. Anyway, the hand's a bit downer. Well, not downer. I love it.
No, I love it too. I just don't wear that.
And this
shape of cowl. I don't know whether it's because I've got, like, I don't know, hair and...
And with this pattern, I think will be coming out in July. But... yeah, it's just to show off the, and it does, I'm not 100% sure it shows off the slub or shows off the mohair more. But
I think in person that, like we put our hand behind, you don't see the light coming through quite so much. You can see the slub in there. When you do that, it doesn't, the light coming through, but it won't, she won't be like that when it's on. Right. Will it? It'll be next to skin, so you'll see the slub more.
So, yes. So if anybody's got any ideas for names, let us know. We try and be vaguely botanical.
Yeah. But it actually makes me think of a path. Like a tiled path. Yeah. But that's not botanical, so that's no use. Well, this is Cotyledon undulata, so I was thinking of calling it the undulata cowl, but I don't know how appealing that sounds. Anyway, it is 3/4 of the way there, and if any of you would like to test knit it, let me know. I think Sophie's also going to do a version in 4-ply and Surrey alpaca. So, and if any of you watch and are Botanica Yarn Patreons or sample knit for Sophie already, then give us a shout out if you fancy doing a sample for the cowl. I'm sure she will be asking at some point. Cool. Yeah. I really need a drink. Okay, go and get a drink while I talk about my acquisitions. So, last time, we've already shown a picture of this on Instagram. We went to River Knits Open Day in Northampton. Is it Northampton? Northampton. And we had a great time. It was quite a small little marketplace, but there were lots of lovely vendors there. We bought a few things. So we've already shown a picture on Instagram of the things we bought. But I thought, the end of the last episode. Oh yes, Rachel popped it on the end of the last episode. So have you put everything in there already? I'm just going to pop through what I bought. I didn't say what. Did I say what we bought on the description? I don't know, but no, there's a picture at the end. So the first things we looked at were from River Knits, and I got these two lovely skeins of yarn. And the people were there with the sheep, who this yarn comes from. So it's Shetland wool, and it's from Northamptonshire, and they spun it up. It's lace weight, 430 metres per 50 gram skein. I've got two of them. It's going to be a lovely shawl, and the colourway is Ashby. Oh, it's beautiful. But I also bought this bag, which, bless you. Sorry. Bless you, Jo. So sorry. I always sneeze twice. Do you want a tissue? No. Okay, I'm fine. So I bought this because it's beautiful and I couldn't resist because the colours are lovely. But this material is woven with this yarn. So the lady who has the sheep spins. Doesn't knit so much, but she spins, and then the people at River Knits put her in touch with the company that weave and do the fabric for their project bags, and her yarn has got put into her hand spun yarn even. It's got put into the project bag, which I think is amazing. And the back of it is this beautiful tealy grey. It's like tweed. Is it? It's like a tweed, not tweed, it's like a wool fabric, and the inside is like a linen, and it's just lovely. I haven't actually put a project in it yet. Oh, and it's got the little. But it's got the River Knits little. Should I just about my yarn? And then the last thing I got from River Knits is this crafter's wallet. So it's called Shoetown Crafter's Wallet, and so it's on the back. This item has been lovingly handmade with leather that's been veg tanned with natural tannins It will age and soften beautifully over time with good care, giving you many years of enjoyment. For a long, but I'm assuming that Northampton is famous for shoes, shoe town. And it's lovely. It's a little bit bigger than my normal Notions pouch, but it's so nice because when you open it up, it opens with it's got like a rivet kind of thing there, and then that sits open on, and holds everything in, and it's just perfect.
I bought you that.
You did.
Rose gold tape measure.
So yeah, I think it's just great. I love it.
Yeah.
It was a bit of an impulse purchase, and they only had one left in this colour, so it was their one they had on show. So I made the guy give it me. but no, I just love it. Cool. Nothing falls out. Perfect design.
Brilliant. So I got from Riverknits. So as soon as we walked in, I saw this, which is, I'm not 100% sure. Oh, it's spun and dyed, and it's blue face Leicester, but it's not. It's like mill spun, isn't it? And this is 50 grams, and it's in the colourway Succulents. And I was looking for something to go with it because I'm thinking of doing a colourwork sock design. And they had a wall. I don't know if I took a photograph of it. I think this is just a wall of minis of all the colours that they had. And this was one of the minis. And I said to the lady, "Can I help you?" And I said, "I don't know which one to pick. I think I want this one, but I'd really like 100 grams of it." And she said, "Hang on a second, we have 100 grams of it." So she went and got me that. So that is 12A7. Oh no, colourway. Oh my God. Moosbedeckter Waldboden, which obviously means something to someone, but not to me. So if anybody knows what that means, leave us a comment.
Google it.
Yeah. So that is going to be, those are going to be a colourwork sock design, possibly in the autumn, because I'm busy. I'm busy, but I will have finished the sock club by then, and be doing other stuff. So then we bought these ones.
Yeah, I got a brown one. And mine was like a limited edition tweed, Harris tweed, that they weren't going to ever be able to find again.
Yeah, vintage.
Yeah, it was found in somebody's house on Harris.
And this was the one that Faye hoped she didn't get sold, so she could have it. So sorry, Faye. And I've just got to quickly show you my tin. Yeah, that's so cute. It's my Notions tin. So it's a little tin, and inside it has my, what brand are they? Kohana? Snips, and a needle, and a thing for your tighten your interchangeables. Perfect. Right.
So the next, we also saw Fruitful Fusion.
We chatted to
Ishrat for ages, and got this yarn. We both bought this yarn. We're thinking that in the autumn we might have a design off. See who can design what with that yarn. So they've got one skein of the mixed merino bamboo silk 4-ply fingering, and the Surrey alpaca, which is Surrey alpaca and mulberry silk, and it's in the colourway Monsoon.
So we're going to have twin
design off. I think that was everything that we got.
I bought, also from Fruitful Fusion, I got the her sunflower sock. So that's merino, 75-25 merino nylon. And the same in the Surrey. And that is going to be a sock. Not held together. I'm thinking something Surrey on the leg, something Surrey lace on the leg, and then
nice. And I also got a skein of yarn from Ishrat to knit a sample of my Tosano Cowl, which got sent to Ishrat. Oh, that was another finished object.
Yeah.
Got sent to Ishrat over the Jubilee weekend. She's put a picture up on her Instagram. She's Fruitful Fusion on Instagram. She's put a picture up of that sample, and she's going to be doing kits at, what's it called?
Yarningham.
Is it Yarningham? Anyway, there's a show towards the end of June. Next weekend, is it? We're rubbish, but come and... Woolmonty, no.
Yeah, Woolmonty.
Woolmonty.
Where's that?
Don't know. We're rubbish. Anyway, it's all on Ishrat's post. So have a look at that on Instagram.
Yeah, she's at Fruitful Fusion.
Yeah.
Have you got? You didn't bring the stuff that Sophie got you in Amsterdam.
She got me a project bag from Stephen and Penelope that I didn't bring.
Okay.
But it's their black
So Sophie
€6 small project
from
bag.
Botanical Yarn, who's our friend, went to Amsterdam with some other friends, and she asked us what we wanted from Stephen and Penelope, and I chose this skein of Walk yarn. I'm sure it's the Walk collection. Anyway, we'll try and find out. It'll be on the Stephen and Penelope website.
Oh my
Sorry,
God, what's wrong with you?
I'm on pre-gabbling. It makes you forget
Oh, right.
words.
Okay.
Jeez.
Hurry up, we're getting
Okay.
close to an hour.
Okay. Sorry, people. Right, so this is Cottage Merino, 100% superwash merino in the colourway Iris, and it's beautiful. And it's going to become a lovely, possibly a
Cowl?
silver dollar
Ooh.
bandana cowl.
Yeah.
And she also got me this knitter's notebook from Stephen and Penelope, and a little, I think this is the building that their shop is in, and it's got the small gauge for sock needles. So I've put it on my Notions pouch, which Jo bought me. Well, it's a purse from Osprey, but it's my Notions. Isn't that cute? So that was from Amsterdam. And then she's also sent, that's your yarn you got for that from that package.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a skein of the Peony Memory from her last but one update, I think.
And I got a skein of Peony Lollipop.
From me. That was from me.
Yeah, but that's her latest update as well, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And it's got these neons in it. Grey with a neon.
Oh, I haven't got the stitch markers that you gave me.
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll talk about that another time. We're going for ages.
We'll go quick. We'll go really quick.
Yeah.
Right. You go.
So I was watching the Woolly Mammoth podcast, and I thought I want to try her yarn. So I ordered some.
Oh, you ordered it?
Yeah.
I thought you got it in Scotland from the shop.
No. I ordered it from her shop. It's because now I'm a sock knitter. I want to try different yarn, and this is the natural sock. So it's 50% BFL and 50% Cheviot wool, sourced, spun and made in the UK. And this is the colourway Olive number 1. And I'm thinking Colin socks.
Oh yeah.
In that.
And this is Indigo number 6. I don't know what socks I'm thinking. Should we both do Colin?
Could do. Yeah, so that was a little treat for the moment purchase.
Maybe we won't talk about the books.
Yeah, we'll do the books another time.
So I'm really going to just quickly show you a gift that I got from Sophie.
Oh, I've got more yarn
from being, this is, well, some of it's stuff that I asked for from the Yorkshire Yarn Fest, and some gifts and presents that she bought me from Yorkshire Yarn Fest, and she sent it to me as a get well soon. So I got, the last Yorkshire Yarn Fest was in person, it's a live one, and the colourway, the gem, each month is the gemstone, and it was emerald. So I got quite a lot of this. I got another skein as well. That's a sock set in the emerald, and then that's the other way. And I'm going to knit emerald Musselburgh hat in that. And I got a skein of the emerald speckled emerald mohair, which is beautiful. She also sent me this is the sapphire, which was the month before, the fade. So Sophie does the most amazing fades. So don't know what that will become. She also sent me some, Jo's already had one of these, Hurdy stitch markers, which are really cute, and a Hurdy face mask, which I'll be wearing at Flock today. That's really cute. And she's also sent me an amazing, it's the Cooks and Crafts treat box, which was based on the Kingfisher. And she's in Scotland somewhere, and inside was
lots and lots of goodies.
Yeah.
My husband's having the fudge.
Yeah, with some fudge. So there was a bottle of Scottish tonic water. Let's say there's a little kit for making a bumblebee brooch, which I'm hoping Jo's going to do for me because my sewing is not great. A little, what smell is it? It's eucalyptus, which I've never actually tried the eucalyptus one. And then there was a bracelet, slightly random. There was also, Sophie also gave me some stitch markers from Botanical Yarn, which I haven't bought here, which we could show another time, but they're like little blue.
Oh, just show them another time.
Yeah. And then this is the Kingfisher yarn.
Oh, that's lovely.
And it's beautiful, isn't it? And she's in Aberdeenshire. So
that would make a nice Morton Street cowl.
Yeah, and the
or a ginger ale.
The coincidence, I think, is a coincidence that when I was in Girl Guides, when I was in my teens, I was a Kingfisher. In fact, I was patrol leader. Loved Kingfishers. And what were you, Jo?
I was a thrush, which Rachel finds really funny for some reason.
I find it funny because it reminds me that you made a thrush bird.
Yeah. I made a mascot for my patrol.
That was the poster item
called, and it was I made a thrush.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Sophie, for all my treats.
I wish I still had it. I think it would.
I feel very spoiled, and it makes me want. I actually want to cast on a Musselburgh for knit today. But no more whips.
No more whips
until some whips are finished.
Right, and then very quickly.
You haven't talked about those. No. Oh well, we talked about another time.
I went to London to see the Killers, and it was at Arsenal, which is near Highbury in Islington. So, you know, it'd be rude not to have a little quick trip to Loop. And my husband really enjoyed his 15 minutes stood outside the shop.
Was it only 15 minutes?
I was only about 15 minutes, yeah. So I picked up some sock blockers, which I haven't got with me, but they're the same as the ones Rachel was showing.
Mine
the
wire
ones.
Mine from Loop.
And then I was looking at yarn, and I was like, what should I get? And I saw this one, and it had to be mine. It's called, it's Madeline Tosh Merino Light, and the colourway is Afternoon Nap. And I was like, that's just, this just sums me up.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. And it's kind of beigey with like aubergine speckles.
And it's singles, isn't it?
Singles.
100%.
And then I also found this one, which is called Kitten. And then the final one I picked is called Horror Hostess. But I thought that is going to be a lovely shawl.
Yeah.
Whether it's one I design myself or whether it's one that I find a pattern for.
Is it 400? Yeah. You could knit the new Hohi one if you had one paler.
Yeah. Anyway,
lovely.
I'm thinking something striped and then a lace.
Ah, yeah. I'm jealous. I'm jealous that you went to loop without me.
I got your present.
You did get me a present, but I haven't.
We're not going to show it because I've also bought a present for somebody else, and they haven't got it yet.
Okay, next time we'll try and remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are done. Finally, if you stuck it out this long, that's prattling. I also said that word before, but we do talk a lot, don't we?
So the key takeaways are: go and check out our Crest patterns and join our cowl for the last few weeks of June.
Yeah.
Check out all of the lovely dyers and bag makers and people that we've mentioned, because supporting small business
at this time
is a really good thing you can do. They are all so creative and make such beautiful things, and without them we wouldn't be able to do the things we do. So we all support each other, and that's great.
Remember that there's the new bonus 20 code on Ravelry to get 20% off any of our patterns. Probably not the ebooks, because they already have 25% off automatically, so we won't be doing that. But any of the single patterns will be discounted if you use that code. And
give Rachel, oh, I guess you can set it up today while we're waiting for this podcast to go up.
Yeah, I'll set it up today before the podcast goes live. And that's it, really. So we're off to Flock this afternoon, so we'll have, if you see any of you there, that'd be lovely. And obviously,
happy knitting, everybody.
Like and subscribe to our podcast, and we will see you again soon.
Cool.
Bye.
Happy knitting, everybody. Bye.
Happy knitting.